What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. I hope everybody had a great day. Alright guys, got some cool anomalies for you today. There's two things I'm going to cover before we get into the anomalies, because this is pretty cool. I think you guys will like this. Alright, so one of my subs, Colin McKenzie, had sent me a link saying, hey Chris, you know that last video you did with that your anomaly, why don't you look at it in a better photo here? So they sent me a link to this particular photo. Alright, so we got the Sea of Tranquility right here, where the Apollo missions are up around here and over here. And then, of course, we've got the Sea of Fertility. Now, here's the object that we had looked at in the last video. Check this out. There is something on there. Now, I don't know if this thing's actually tilted to a certain degree. This is where I was seeing it. You can still see this weird-looking little fork thing. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this in Photoshop, because what I did is I rotated it 90 degrees so we can have a better look. Now, check this out. You can still see that weird-looking fork thing right there. And this thing going down like this. And, of course, it's got a couple little pieces sticking out of there, but whatever. And it actually may go across like this. Check that out. So I brightened it up, and you can see the object right there. It looks like, a lot of you guys call it a tuning fork, which it kind of does. It looks like that weird kind of look to it, right? And then what I do is I darken this base up a little bit so I can get rid of some of that glare, and then brought out a little bit more of this item. Because this is a top view, it makes me wonder whether this item that was on that's on this so-called crater isn't tilted like to an angle, because you shouldn't see this thing the way it looks because of it's a top view. Basically, we're looking straight down, maybe slightly angled, but pretty much almost straight down. Here's the one that was in front of it, right there. It's kind of like going off. You can see this. It's not quite the resolution I would hope for. I was hoping for clearer. And so I'm not seeing it super clear, but still, nonetheless, you can see that. Yeah, right there. Pretty cool. Thanks, Colin, for sending that in, or at least giving me the link so we can check it out a little bit better. So I appreciate that. All right, guys, here's another thing that's pretty cool. Somebody had sent to me, and you can see right here, Will had sent this to me, and it looks like a little Death Star, right? And then when I looked at the other photo he's got right here, I think it's what it is the moon. And they're saying because it's artificial, so on and so forth, right? And it has this little cutout, which is pretty cool. Right there. All right, so anyway, he kind of threw me off a little bit, because it's every now and then people want to know, is Chris actually, really finding these things and seeing that some of these photos have been altered? Kind of like the Chang'e 4, the newest China photos, where I showed it's pretty much faked. And there's all kinds of information that's been taken out or covered up. A lot of the information has been redacted. So he sent me this here. This was on January 19th. You can see it right here, 2019, 6:32 p.m. All right, so he writes, I like to see your methods. Pretend I'm NASA and I Photoshop something out. Can you look for where I blurred to test your method? Can you find the lines and locate what I took out? So again, this could be anything from this corner to this corner, so on and so forth, right? So here it is right here. And now that could be any part of that photo. But anyway, this is what I told him. I said, had a quick look at the photo. Looks like the surrounding may have been altered, which is this right here. And this is what I showed him. You can see at the very bottom where I put the arrows. Took me all of 3 minutes, guys. And right here at the bottom is what he took out. And this was his response. Your method works. You are correct. Keep up the good work on Mars. Wow. This is what the photo actually looks like. And I'm going to just zoom it right here. It's basically like a model. It sits on a desktop. And there you can see the actual piece that it sits on. So that's pretty cool. So I'm kind of glad he did that, because sometimes people doubt it. They're saying, can he really filter the stuff and really find it? You can see right here, you can see where they actually took that out. They did a good job of this, because I couldn't see any the marks that he had done or blurred out. And they put a little darkness on the top and some on the bottom, so you didn't have a clue. All you had to do was just look at it. And that's what I came up with, was right there. And again, you can see it right there. You can see where it went right across. And I put on there, to look at the raw parts of your photo, I used the yellow plate to see the altering. This doesn't always work with the yellow plating. Different photos, and depending on what method is used, sometimes you have to use different plates. And like I said, it took me all of a few minutes. And you guys can see right here, Mars Anomalies. You guys want to send some pictures, maybe a video. Some of you guys have been saying, hey man, you got to check out some of these UFO videos. Now, I typically don't do those, but it doesn't mean I won't start doing them, right? So you can always send pictures over here to my Mars Anomalies. You can see it here at the top left, Mars Anomalies over at my Facebook page. And you can see there's a lot of names here. I've been going basically answering people. They ask me questions, look at photos. And, you know, of course, I answer them back. And plus, you can always hit me up over at Anomalies at AOL.com, right? All right, so let's get into the photo that we're going to be talking about, which is this one right here. Now, this is a pan, and you can see right here, it's PIA 20765, rover's panoramic of entrance to Maury Buttes on Mars. And of course, you always want the biggest one. It's kind of a decent sized file. It's a 46 meg. And you can see right there, the TIFF is the one you want, because as soon as you zoom in, you want the biggest photo you can get. And this is what it looks like right here. Now, guys, I don't know about you, but this is what I say. Just picture a city, even a street, of a town that's been totally obliterated in a war, and it's just sat there and sat there and sat there. I don't see buttes here. I don't see dirt. And the reason why, and I can tell you this, is because I've seen way too many of these dirt mounds that have something in them, meaning something that looks like an intelligently made object or shapes in these buttes that shouldn't be there. And this happens to be one of the photos. And again, they blended it so well that you really can't see it unless you really look for it. Now, picture this. I've seen buttes in Arizona or whatever desert of your choice, and you see them kind of they're just random, right? They're just randomly scattered all over the place. Well, for some reason, these aren't. These are there's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They all happen to be right in a row. And I can tell you this right here, between this stuff right here, between these so-called buttes, or mounds, you can call them whatever you like, this has been modified. This stuff here has all been modified right here. But what's funny about it, you can see what almost looks like a remnant of a street or road. And to me, that's what it looks like. It just looks like it runs straight through all the way through here. And this used to be something here, like structures, some kind of objects that happen to be all lined up, whatever it might have been. Let me show you something too, real quick. Check this out. Although we're kind of getting pixelated here, but you can see what looks like a very 90-degree item sitting right here. Right there. Over here, something similar. Like, this might be a rock hanging off, but either way, yeah. Let's get into that, because I think you guys are going to like this. This is pretty cool. They actually had a GIF of this where this whole thing would just actually rotate 360 degrees. I'm also going to show you some objects that are way on this side here. Way over here. And you can see these weird shapes. See this right here? Even though it's pixelated. Look at the way that thing goes up. Comes back down. Has these lines and shapes. This too. Right here. You can see it's all white behind this. Looks like they just try to block it out. But right here, nice and square, white. And you'll see that again a lot better. And this is the actual so-called butte that we're going to be looking at right here. In this area right here. You know what caught my eye? I'm going to tell you right off the bat. And I know you guys, if you study this area, it doesn't have to be that long. Just study the actual lines in this thing, and you're gonna go, okay, I get how when you look at buttes, I get how they're made, because you'll see like a kind of almost like it's like a strata rock, kind of just layers, right? Well, how does a rock do this? Goes over, wham, comes down. Look at the lines in this thing go down. See that? And then they can start to go straight across. Well, if you back out, there's an item right here, but let's just get into it. You'll like this. And of course, you can see Mountain Shop here in the background. I always thought this is funny, because right now we're at the foothills of, Mount Shop. In fact, we're starting to work our way upward, according to NASA, and yet you can still see this damn mountain. Listen, this mountain should be so large in your face right now, you couldn't even see the top. You shouldn't be able to see the top of this thing. Again, you should see randomness where I see looks like a bunch of things lined up. Well, my bad on that. Look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can see this just looks so cartoonish. Look at this. Absolute crap. They're covering this stuff up. And again, people say, oh man, he must really hate NASA. No, actually I don't. I don't hate NASA. I hate the lies that they're telling the people. That's what bothers me. Okay, so let's have a better look at this. First, I'm going to swing all the way to this other side. And I'm going to show you guys this, because this is weird, man. Let's go black and white on this real quick. And here's the lines I was talking about. Right here. See that? See that? They're right there. You can see these lines going like this here. Okay. Another one going up like this. And you can see what looks like a little square here. So on and so forth, right? Okay. Moving along. Let's go over to this side. Here's that box type thing I was telling you about. How is that possible, guys? And you can see that right in there, perfectly fine. And what I did was I blasted through some of this crap right here that they put over it. See it? This to me is garbage. I mean, they did this to all this crap right here, even up over here. They kind of threw it in there. To me, that's crap. Look at that. How does that look natural to anybody? Over here, this item right here, laying it almost looks like this weird horn type thing because it goes up like this. Appears to be round. Has this other line going like this here. These little objects, the white objects, that's what you want to find. That's what's in the photo. That's what they're hiding. And at least in my experience from looking at this, that's the way it's been. Okay, so let's jump out of that. Move way on the other side here. I'm going to show you something else that doesn't make sense. Check this out. This object right over here. And the reason why I say that is because look at the actual lines of this right here. Look at this. Goes across, up, goes like this, up, goes a little hump type thing. This looks like it's been broken because it does this. But we've got these straight lines going across. Now, we are in quite a bit. And check this out. I got it a little bit better. Added just a little bit of blur so we didn't have too much of this. This. And you can see that pretty darn well. This is coming down, nice and slanted. Going like this here. Again, we've got this, looks like it's broken, like this support or something like that. Like it should have been straight up and down like this. And you can see the pots of white objects right there in the bottom. And they came out colored because when you try to bring in the white, try to use a dodge tool on it. And you can see this thing actually does this. Goes right down into this piece here. But whatever that is, that doesn't appear to be natural. What do you guys think of that? Okay, let's jump into this here. And that's the photo. That's untouched right there. All right, this is what I looked at first. I'm looking at this object right here. Check out just the pieces in here right off the bat. We've got this weird shaped item. Goes like this. You got 1, 2, 3. And then the way this thing goes down, it goes down like this. This is bizarre, too. Wait until you see this thing. It goes like this. Piece going over here. But there's something right here, shaped like this, similar to this, going across. Has a line, like a separation line, something around right here. And you've got these other little pieces. Look how, like, they're perfectly in place. Like, there's something else here. Now, also notice right here. You're going to see lines to these objects just laying here. What we do is just get rid of the colors. Okay? Let's back out just a little bit. Get rid of the colors, or at least get rid of the crap colors. Okay, I got rid of some of the color, changed a little. You can see where it changed just a hair bit. And then brighten it up and get more of a better color. And you can see this right here. There's something right here. I don't know if you guys can see this right here. And then you'll notice when I change it to black and white, suddenly you can see the white areas and the darker colors making this thing pop, whatever the hell is in this photo. So I started to kind of mess with it. You can see these lines. Look at the way these lines go down like this here. Really? All right, that didn't go right at all. Let's go like this. Check that out. Now, in nature that does that? I could be wrong, but that doesn't seem right. Anyway, so let's get to the black and white. And you can start to see, look at the pieces in here. Right there. But here's the funny part. This has all been thrown in this. Because you can see the specks of white still in there. See that? Check this thing out now. This is cool. Right here. What in God's green earth is that? Well, God's green Mars. Now, what the hell could this possibly be, guys? Check this out. Look at this thing. It's too uniformed. See it? There's no way that this thing, and I'm going to just back a little bit more. So if you guys want to use your magnifiers and look at this thing, you can do that. Check that out. Now, as I went along, suddenly I said, wait a minute, there's more to this thing than just that. It goes all the way back here. So let's try to change it up here and get it a little bit brighter. And all I use is the dodge tool, guys. Just went like this over it, and it would literally drag it through the mess that's put over it. Because anything that's got a white signature, you use the dodge tool on, it's going to bring out the white or the lighter part of it, right? And you can see this thing. Look at the shapes that are in this. Okay? This is not normal. This is not natural right here. Look at this. Well, that's supposed to be straight. And then you got these funky looking pieces coming down. Whatever the hell this thing is, check this out. I mean, look at this. All right here in this area. And then I kept going. See this weird looking object right here doing this. There's something else here underneath all of this gray or this crap right here. So I kept going. Bringing it out little by little. Threw a filter over it to see if we can find anything else. Check that out, guys. There's no way that this thing is natural. See this thing sticking up now, right here? A little piece right there. It's literally off this ground. It looks like some kind of weird ship, if you will. I'm not sure what to make of that. I'm going to let you guys use your magnifiers. I'm going to back out so this way we don't have it too pixelated. And I'm just using my regular magnifier, guys. I'm just looking at this thing. There's no way. Just the way these things are showing. Has this weird shape. Stops. You got 1, 2, 3. You got these items over here. 2, 3. This object right here. That's crazy, guys. Just look at this stuff. Whatever that thing is. And look at the point this thing comes to over here in the front. And has this weird design coming down. What do you guys make of that? See that? Zoom back in. What do you think this thing is? It may be multiple things for all we know, right? So, did this. Docking it up a little bit. Guys, to me, there's just no way this stuff's natural here. This thing looks like some kind of weird ship sticking out of this. And you can see just the point of it. See this right here? Right here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit. Now, we're going to have to be pixelated a little bit, but that's okay. I'll go back out in a second. Like this. It literally has a point to it. You can see it on all of this stuff that they try to put here. But whatever the hell this thing is. And then, like I said, it's got the 3. 1, 2, 3. And I believe there's actually some behind that. Got this piece right here. Just going like this. And it's got that weird shape to it there, right? Let me back out. Just look at the way this thing is made. There's no way that this thing is natural. It's not going to happen. And there's this other piece down here. Here's that wall part. Nice 90-degree angle. Yeah. Almost a 90-degree angle. Perfect 90-degree angle. In fact, it's pretty much perfect. There's something right here, too. It's almost like it goes up like this, 90-degree, back up like this here. And then you got this cluster or this dirt pile right next to it. Good possibility. Now, this thing's been seen many times before. This kind of weird-looking object sticking out. And you've got these items right here. Right there. What do you make of that? Look at the shape of that thing. It has this piece coming down like a smooth pot. There's a color to it. Guys, just all you got to do is just sit there and just concentrate like this right here. Looks like a giant number 5 or an S. Right there. These weird, just shapes. Things that are sitting, look at this, right here. Not only that, but right here. You got these weird shapes in these hillsides. Are they truly hills, or are they much more than that? You can see these other anomalies sitting right here, and just have a look at them, guys. Just, take your magnifier out, have a look at these things. I mean, I'm going to try not to zoom in too much so you guys can pause this anywhere you want to and have a look. And like I said, with this right here, with the filter on, and like I said, the way this thing points and the little pieces right here, the point to this thing, they're just the little pieces right here that are in a row, lined up in a row. This little piece, like I said, right here, got an arrow pointing right at it. There's no way, guys, this thing is natural. Look at this thing in the back. This oval-shaped thing sitting right on the back of this. I believe what we're looking at is I really don't know what it is, but it kind of shaped like some kind of craft right there in the point. I don't know if it's multiple things that just kind of were pulling it out as one. It's hard to tell. It really is. You got this mess right here. Now, if you look at a lot of this right here, you could come on, guys, look at this. You could tell this is actually CGI'd over. And then when you get into it to try to find any of these edges, see this right here? You can see the edges now and the lines in it. Again, we've got that item in the back. Doesn't look very natural to me. Anyway, guys, tell me what you think. What do you think's going on? And by the way, I got another one coming up. It's really going to show you more tampering. So stay tuned for that one. That's another cool one coming up. And we do have more moon coming up, so stay tuned for that. As always, guys, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And again, stay tuned. Got some cool ones coming up, whether it be more moon. And I got one that's really, you're going to just see this. Talk about total washout on one of these moon photos. Anyway, guys, stay tuned for that. I think you guys are going to like these. Anyway, I'll see you on the flip side.